Well, hi there. In this Photoshop Elements tutorial, I'm going to go over how to make some cool and funky text using Photoshop Elements. And to get started, once you have Photoshop Elements open, I'm going to click on File, New, Blank File. I'm going to want to create something that's 6 inches wide, 4 inches high, and with a resolution of 150. And give this a name, Inspiration. And I'm going to hit OK. So now I have this nice white canvas, but I want to add some color. To do that, I'm going to hover over this tool. When you hover over a tool, it'll tell you what it does. So this is the gradient tool. And I want to make a fun new gradient. I'm going to click on Edit. So let's say you have this kind of boring black and white gradient. I want a red, yellow, red one. I'm going to click on this color stop, and I'm going to choose a fun red color. And I want it to go red to yellow. So to make a new one, I'm going to click here, double click, and I want a kind of a gold center or yellow center. I don't want white to end it. I want another red. And I'm going to hit OK. So my gradients go from red to yellow to red. I'm going to save that. Give it a name, Falcon Colors. And I'm going to hit OK. So now my gradient appears up here. And there's different types of gradients. I've got a linear, I've got a radial, angled, reflected, and diamond. For now, I'm just going to choose radial. And you can play around with how you do this. I'm going to start mine roughly right in the middle. I'm going to click, and I'm going to go straight down to about here, and then I'm going to let go. You get kind of this cool effect there. Now, I want to add some texture to that, so I'm going to use the Custom Shape tool. Before I do that, I'm going to add another layer by clicking the New Layer button here. What this does is, with Photoshop, you can have lots of sheets and lots of different things on different layers. So on this one, I'm going to add my shape. I'm going to click on the Custom Shape tool. It might look like the rectangle right now. So I'm going to click on this tool, and I want Custom Shape tool. I'm going to click down on the drop-down menu, and if you don't see all these shapes, if I click on these two arrows, I'm going to click on the All Elements shape, and I can see all the different shapes, a cute kitty, goats, flowers. I'm going to scroll all the way down, CRTM, there's a cross target. I'm going to click on this one. This one's called Registration Target 2. I'm going to choose the color, I'm going to make it white. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit. This is my magnifying tool. I'm going to click on the minus, and I'm going to zoom out just a tad. I'm going to click on my tool again, on my shape, which is my registration target 2. I'm going to start from about here, and I'm going to drag out like so. I want something that looks like that, and I'm going to let go. Now, it's all white there. I'm going to lower the opacity to about 20, and I want to blend this layer in with this layer. To do that, where it says normal, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to hit overlay, and it'll blend in with it. I'm going to make a new layer, and you can see the effect that we have now. Pretty cool. So we have our shape, we have our background. Now I need some fun text. So the text I'm going to choose, I'm going to click on there. I've chosen AYT Ashley. I'm going to click, and I'm going to make out a text box like so. And for me, the words I'm going to type are Falcon Community. And I'm going to hit the check mark. And I can move it around to where I want it to go. Maybe right there is good. Right? It's a little bit boring. I think I could add some little bit of pizzazz to it. So let's maybe first off, I could, oops. I want to add some color to this font. So I can highlight that font, click on this button, and I'm going to choose one of the reds that's here, hit OK. Now it blends in with the background. So I'm going to click on my arrow tool. I want to add some style to this font. So I'm going to right click on it, edit the layer style. And there's a few options here. I can give it a shadow, a glow, a bevel, a stroke. I'm going to give it a stroke, give it some edge. You could use a different color. You could use yellow if you wanted to. I'm going to just choose black, I think. And you can change the thickness of that. You can change the opacity of it. I think I like something at about 10 pixels and hit OK. So it looks pretty great. Now, as a final thing, I can add some filters to Falcon Community. So I want that text to look a little bit more fun. Once I do this though, I can't change my text, I can't change my letters. And as you'll see why. I'm going to click on Filter, and I want to add some wind. I'm going to pretend there's some wind going through my text. It's going to ask me to simplify this text, and it tells me your text will no longer be editable. Sure. I'm going to hit OK. So I'm going to make it look windy. So I can make the wind blow on my text. I want it from maybe the left. I'm going to hit OK. Nice. It's subtle, but you can see it just adds a bit of texture, makes my text look a little bit more fun. And now if I want to share this masterpiece online, I can save it and hit File, Save As. I'll give it a name, Falcon. I want the format to be JPEG. That's a simpler format to change, save online. Hit Save. File size is pretty small. That's good. And I'm going to hit OK. And I'm done. So that's how you can create a simple text using Photoshop, a few filters, and custom shapes.